You hear about inflation all the time, right? But here's the thing. It doesn't hit everyone the same way. For some, it's a strategic problem to be managed. For others, it's a daily, grinding struggle. This is really a tale of two very different playbooks, and when you see them side by side, you start to understand a deep split in our economy.
So that's the big question we're diving into. How can one single economic force, prices going up, feel so completely different for a huge corporation compared to a family just trying to get by? It's a puzzle, and today we're going to put the pieces together. And it really all boils down to this. On one side of the field, you've got corporations with a thick playbook, just full of strategic options and moves they can make to handle the pressure. And on the other side, you've got families, and their playbook is a lot simpler. It's just their household budget.
All right, first things first. Let's make sure we're all on the same page and really understand the playing field here. And to do that, we need to get clear on who we're talking about when we say the middle class.
You know, we throw that term around a lot, but it's not just a vibe. It actually has a specific financial definition. The Pew Research Center defines it pretty clearly. It's any household that earns between 2/3 and double the national median income. That gives us a really solid range to work with.
And to put a real number on that, for 2024, the national median income is $83,730. So that whole middle class range we just talked about, it's all based on this one number.
Okay, so now let's crack open that first playbook, the corporate one. When a company starts feeling the squeeze from rising costs, whether that's from general inflation or from something specific like tariffs, taxes on imported goods, well, they have a whole list of moves they can make. And I mean, CEOs have a whole menu of options here. They can pull back on spending/expenses across the board or even restructure their workforce. They can lobby the government for special exemptions or heck, they can completely re-engineer their entire supply chain. These are some seriously powerful levers to pull. But you know what their most powerful play is? Simply passing the cost along. When faced with something like a new tariff, a whopping 2/3, that's 66% of that extra cost gets passed directly on to you, the customer. The company only ends up absorbing about 1/3 of it. And that right there, that ability to just shift the financial hit is exactly why so many corporations can ride out these economic storms. It's like having a built-in pressure release valve for any new costs that come their way. So, what about that other playbook? The one for middle-class families? Well, it's less a book full of strategies and more like a single, well-worn page, the budget. There's a line from the analysis that just hits the nail on the head. It says, unlike corporations, middle-class families have no means to pass on costs. There's nobody else to hand the bill to. For them, the buck stops right there. And when you put the two side by side, the difference is, wow, it's stark. Corporations get to negotiate prices with their suppliers. Families have to pay whatever price is on the tag. Companies can go get government exemptions. Families don't have that option. And the big one? Corporations pass on costs, while families are forced to absorb every single penny.
And this isn't some abstract economic theory, right? This is the stuff you feel every single day. It's the price of beef at the grocery store, it's your car and home insurance premiums that just keep climbing, it's the insane cost of housing, and the bill you get when you just need to get your car fixed. So, when you've got two groups in the same economy playing by such different rules, what's the end result? I mean, who really ends up carrying all the weight?
And this isn't something that just started. The analysis points out that this has been going on for over 5 years now, really kicking into high gear around the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's the American middle class that has consistently been shouldering this burden. And you can see the effect of that burden so clearly right here. As the bar for prices go up and up, the bar for consumer sentiment, which is basically how people feel about the economy and their own finances, it goes way down. It's practically a mirror image. This all leads to a pretty sobering conclusion from the analysis. The pressure is becoming just immense. The middle class is taking the full force of inflation, and it's stretching families' finances almost to their breaking point.
So after all that, what does this tale of two playbooks ultimately tell us about the bigger picture?
It leaves you with one final, and I think really critical question. When one team has this whole playbook full of strategic moves, and the other team is just trying to absorb every hit with their family budget, are they really even playing the same game?